Here we go. So, I'm not home. I hope that's obvious. Well, probably not. I'm not home. I'm in a housing facility. I work away from home. Let's not get into that. Anyway, um, I've been asked to talk about my Steam Deck, and I'm not set up to do an actual. Sorry, it's a mess over there. It's a very small room. I'm not set up to do what everyone's already done, which is showcase the menu and give you an idea of how everything works. I'm not set up for that. But what I want to do is kind of give my perspective as someone who has thought about this thing every single day for about a year and then had it come in and has not been disappointed once. All right. So here's a couple things I can show you. So sorry, forward-facing camera, so everything's going to be backwards. Um, but I can show you how quick it is to get from one game to another. So I'm in Yakuza 0. So there, you see the game running, runs fine, runs great. So we're going to stop that. We'll go to exit game, confirm, back out of that. And let's go over to an emulation. Let's see. Let's go to PlayStation 2 game, one that I know works. Now I won't be able to get very far in this because I don't want to be copyright claimed. Um, I don't know if Straw Horse will even come up on the YouTube algorithm. Atlanta, I believe, is the track that plays when the song starts. Most of my music uh, taste came from this game, but anyway, um, you see it's already loading, and see, it's going to start the little video. I'll try to cut it real quick. Yeah, we'll skip that. And there's the game ready to play. And I've experienced no issues with that game. Other games that I've had no trouble with whatsoever would be, let's see, as far as emulation goes, would be the first two ATV Off-Road Furies run pretty good. Um, Final Fantasy X so far seems to run fine. God of War 2, excellent. All the Need for Speeds run fine, and Scarface, and so does Katamari Damacy. So those are the PS2 games that I still own. Um, I'm not the pirate I once was. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing as far as emulation front. Now, N64, I've noticed some weird control issues when using emulation station, but that's one of the reasons why I haven't made a video yet. Is I've been very busy. I've wanted to buy a certain four-wheeler for about 13 years, and I bought it last week. So I've just had other things going on. I actually got it 2 days after I got this, so this poor thing has just been it's just been waiting for some love. Um, but all right, I'll quit like just playing with it and try to give you my actual thoughts because I have thought about this and I want to put out an actual video when I get home in my makeshift studio. But here's the way I see it. I had a GPD Win 1, the original GPD Win, and I remember when I got it, I thought, this is a thing. Yeah, y'all, I know you'll like it. I'll leave it down. This is a thing that's going somewhere. Okay, and I remember thinking it's got these quirks about it. I don't know. It had this thing where like if you had USB storage plugged in and a 3.5 millimeter jack, like if you had both of those things plugged in, it would like shut off or the screen would quit working. I don't know. It was just like little weird things, and I reinstalled the operating system and changed SD cards, blah blah blah, and I never could, remedy those little issues. There were a couple other sound issues. It was almost always sound, but it was But I remember playing Left 4 Dead on it, and I was like, this is going somewhere. And actually, I called in when Destin, I believe his channel is just Destin. I called in. I'd been drinking one night, and he was having this let's Discord and talk kind of thing. And I called in, and we didn't argue, but his take on portable gaming was that what I'm recording this on, a cell phone, was the future of mobile gaming and the only future. He didn't quite say it in those words, but he said I believe what he actually said was, "We all know what the future of mobile gaming is. It's a phone because we already have one in our pocket. We're not going to carry anything else." My rebuttal, which I was I wasn't sharp enough to do it at the time. My rebuttal would have been 60 million Switches are going to say otherwise, right? They're not all owned by 5-year-olds. My 5-year-old does have a Switch, but regardless. So um, that's what I think, and that's what I thought. I thought that there was a future in mobile gaming, specifically um, gaming on the go with lots of options, right? With versatility, right? And that's what the Steam Deck is doing. Is they're bringing it in a reasonable price, and the form factor is not ignored, right? Because the original clamshell GPD, that was just hand cramps like crazy. And the Switch, that's another problem with the Switch, is if you don't have tiny paws, you're going to get cramps without like the comfort grips and everything. And it's this thing from the get go is ergonomic. Like I can do this. I can prop up. I'm someone who can't really like lay down and play that much usually, especially with a Switch. I get a pain right here. Not with this. Like it's kind of like those weird keyboards back in the early 2000s. Like after you kind of get used to it, you're stuck with it. It's I don't know if it's a more natural feel. I don't know, but the feel of this thing, it just when there are other reviewers talk about how you don't feel the weight, that's because it puts the weight in your power fingers, right? But we're not going to get into biology. Um, what else? What else? The battery life is so-so. But I have a little trick for that. If you're still here, I don't know how many people are going to watch this video. This isn't the one that I've been wanting to make. I just feel bad for not showing anything at all because people have asked me. But I will share one thing with you. If you go to, I think you can get it at Walmart.com. And I do believe it was made by Blackview, their little cheap line of electronics. There's this USB-C extension cable, and it's 6 or 8 feet long. I don't remember, 6 or 8, and that is fully compliant with whatever 40-watt charging, blah blah, that this charger brick or that the Steam Deck requires from the charger brick. So, from the package, you get this laughable little cable, but then you take this and you plug it into here, and now you're all right. See what I'm saying? So it's at least 12 feet. I think that's what you get is 12 feet after. I think they're both 6 foot long, but well, I can tell you, yeah, they're 6 foot long. So 12-foot charger, 40 watts, fully compatible. I think I paid $9 for it. I have 2 of them. I found one on clearance at Walmart one time for like $2.99. So I have at least 2 of these. But look for the Walmart exclusive or whatever USB-C cable attachment. You're great. And also they make these, I don't know what you call them, but they're like extension cables, but they only have one plug on the end. But they make some that are like slim that just adapt to, sorry if you're not in America, but I mean, depending on where you are, that may not be a bad thing. We won't get into that. But you see that right there? Like you take your 110, 220, whatever plug, and then it's just like an extension cable. Now, if you were to do that, I think that would be fine because that would just make this into like a laptop, a tiny little laptop brick, right? So I think most of us have done that. Like you plug in, you got this big brick, and then you got the cable that runs to your laptop. It'd be kind of the same thing, right? And so also this isn't hanging off the wall. It would just be a regular, like a normal cord off of a fan or a PlayStation or whatever. So that's my only little hack so far. I also will suggest if you're wanting to get a dock accessory, like say a hub, I would suggest this one. It is I did not plan this video through. It is a Anchor, and this is the Power Expand Plus 7-in-1 USB-C PD Media Hub. Now the reason why I recommend this one is it hasn't bricked my system. but I think that's because they updated the OS to where it won't. But you can do power delivery, so pass through. I won't be able to showcase all that, but there's a USB-C right there, which is power delivery, and that's a memory card slot. And there's HDMI, two USB something magical point oh. I think they're 3.0. They're 5 gig per second. No, GBPS, gigabit per. Anyway, they're that, and then so it's up to the same protocol as the USB-C. So that would be 3.1. Anyway, so that's that. I'm not feeling super ticky at the moment. Also, these right here, these are great because depending on where you're plugged in at, you just snap those on. You get two of them from Amazon for like $5, I think it was. So it's kind of nice because it hangs off the Steam Deck. If you watch the Linus Tech Tips Steam Deck original, I forget what it's called, Valve Let Us Touch Their Steam Deck or something like that. They use these exact things. You can see it on there. But once again, this uses the same protocol, so it can keep up with the charging. This it can up to 100 watts or 80 watts, so it allows the pass through of the power. So between this and the extension, like, you're kind of set up. Other than that, for navigation and stuff, if you're going to do anything besides gaming, I might suggest some kind of all-in-one keyboard with a trap. The Logitech, I think it's called a KV400. That's straight off of memory. I haven't bought one in a while, but I've used them a lot for projectors. That would probably be perfect if you're going to do a lot of text entry, or really any sort of if you're going to use desktop mode very much. I would suggest it because the on-screen keyboard is cool, but it's not great. You know, I find that like you use the way the keyboard works is basically it comes up like this, and then you use this to pick, and then you push down, and that's how you select a letter, right? Push. And I will say that the tactile feel is pretty cool. It feels like you're actually clicking a button, but you're not. But on the Steam controller, it's great. On the Steam Deck, it's not. I mean, it works sometimes, but it never works perfectly. You'll get a lot of presses that you know you didn't mean to press. A lot of times it won't register, and when you're in desktop mode, it's way worse. This is SteamOS mode, so everything is kind of fluid. But when you're in desktop, it's if you want to know what I'm talking about, when you get one, you're like, oh, it's dumb. This works fine. Go to your Discover app and type search and start trying to type something. You'll get 3 letters in, and then it cancels your text entry and puts a random. It sucks. So if you think you're going to need to do text entry, get yourself a keyboard. I would suggest the Logitech. Again, I think it's called a KV400, but you'll see what I'm saying. It's a keyboard, a little trackpad on the side. That would be handy, or of course, wireless mouse would work too. Other than that, that should get you going. As far as emulators are concerned, there's plenty of videos out there to show you how to do it. And would I suggest one if you're like me and you're not home all the time, and say you got kids and they game and whatever. Like, if you think, man, if I had something with me that could fill that gap, that's what it's for, and it is beautiful at it. Again, I spent, when the original rumors came out before the Verge video, before the Verge leak, as they call it, Valve's working on a handheld. There were rumblings on Reddit, and Tyler McVicker, I think, had already talked about it. It was kind of going around. It was before the Deckard rumors. Anyway, I was like, if Valve makes one, it's going to be perfect, because they've had time to screw up and figure out what they're doing. And I'm convinced. I haven't tried to put Windows on it. I probably won't. I've got Warzone eats up like 800 gigs of storage throughout all my systems, and I feel like if factor in how much I'm paying for that storage, I don't feel like I want to carry it around on here, considering that's like an eighth of my total storage capacity. So no thanks. Otherwise, just playing on Proton, SteamDB, or Proton, SteamOS, all that good stuff, it's great. It's really, really good. So I don't know why you're watching this, but if you are, I really appreciate it. And I'll be back to normal, not so informal, but still one take and full of mistakes. You know my format. That won't change too much, but there. I made a Steam Deck video. You're welcome. I'm kidding. Peace, guys.